In 2018, cohesion policy accounts for 34% of the EU's budget. But what is cohesion policy and how did it become so important? Cohesion policy revolves around funding regions across Europe. This support helps both the developed regions that are lagging behind, as well as to encourage innovation and enterprise in more advanced areas of the EU. It is based on the core European value of solidarity, supports convergence in Europe, and acts as the main development tool of the EU. Policies addressing regional imbalances can be traced back to the Treaty of Rome, the founding treaty of the European Union, but EU cohesion policy was officially born in 1986. In 1973, Denmark, Ireland and the UK joined the then European Economic Community, and 2 years later, in 1975, the European Social Development Fund was introduced, moving the idea of socio-economic cohesion into a more tangible form. With the accession of Greece in 1981 and Portugal and Spain in 1986, disparities in the EEC increased significantly. The Single European Act, introduced in 1986, was a response to this, and once again, moved regional cohesion even further. The European Council decided in 1988 to substantially raise the budget allocated to structural funds and cohesion policy to 25% of the EU budget, or about 69 billion euros. In 1993, the European Committee of the Regions was born, and together with the European Parliament was more involved in the decision-making process. In anticipation of the accession of Austria, Finland and Sweden in 1995, cohesion funds for 1994 to 1999 increased further, reaching 168 billion euros, or about 33% of the budget. To address the biggest enlargement of the EU, in which 10 countries entered the Union, 213 billion euros was allocated to cohesion policy for the period 2000 to 2006. The focus for this new period was on growth, employment, and innovation. As 2 more countries, Bulgaria and Romania, joined the EU, funds increased to 347 billion euros for the period 2007 to 2013. And the focus shifted to jobs and growth, innovation, environment and climate change, and territorial cooperation. With Croatia being the last addition, the budget for cohesion policy reached 351 billion euros for the current programming period, from 2014 to 2020. Policy priorities are currently research and innovation, small and medium-sized enterprises, information and communication technologies, and low-carbon economy. The proposal for cohesion policy funding from 2021 to 2027 has already been announced, but it is yet to be finalized, and even more changes could happen in the future of this policy.